Hi, this is Sam.
This is Becca.
We just got done watching Ghost Dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's from 1989, and it stars America's favorite dad.
Bill Cosby.
At the time.
Uh-huh.
Tell us about Ghost Dad.
He dies, but he doesn't die.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to give anything away.
No, because I think, well, the time for spoilers was in 1990. The spoilers are up. Can I talk about how dark this movie is?
Yeah.
The first 20 minutes of this movie, death is following him. Everywhere he goes, like, he almost gets hit when he's carrying out garbage.
Mm-hmm.
The elevator almost breaks with him on it. Like, all these different things happen. And it's really, really, really dark. And this is a kid's movie.
And they're swearing.
He calls the kid a fart, but it sounds like he calls the kid a fuck. And then
there's sexual innuendos.
it's just pretty intense. It is,
Your favorite Bill Cosby movie?
it's no Leonard Part 6.
Yeah.
Sidney Poitier directed this.
Yeah.
His wife makes an appearance.
Is that her?
She's the X-ray tech
Oh.
that sees him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
Hmm.
Here's what I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids have to be asking themselves this question.
Mm-hmm.
If their dad could come back as a ghost,
Mm-hmm. There's their dead mom.
where's their mom? It's kind of
Yeah.
like, why did Qui-Gon Jinn at the end of the first Star Wars go away?
I don't know.
Like, every other Jedi, that when they die, their bodies disappear except for Qui-Gon. And for years, people have asked, like, what's the deal? And George Lucas is always like, oh, we'll explain that in the later movies. Guess what?
Never explained.
Never explained.
Mm-mm.
There's some things I'd like to discuss in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's for kids, but there's a whole scene where he is having sex with the neighbor, and he's going, oh, whoa, oh, whoa. And it's really uncomfortable. Like, because I assume there were a lot of parents that took their kids to this, and I wonder how they felt when they saw it. When no one wanted to see Bill Cosby have sex.
No, but you got to.
But you got to, and then he fell through the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Let's be gross. Let's assume she was probably playing with his peep. Right?
Mm-hmm.
How was he able to solidify his peep?
If he was a ghost.
If he was a ghost, go through the bed.
I don't know.
Originally, John Badham was going to direct this movie. And who was going to play a ghost dad? Steve Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And it fell through. Raven-Symoné supposedly auditioned for the role of Amanda Hopper on this.
Mm-hmm.
But the time of that doesn't make sense. Someone put that on there, and I don't think that's true, because she was on The Cosby Show years before that.
Mm-hmm.
This is Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby made 4 movies together.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 2 writers who worked on this movie. 3 writers: Chris Reese, S.S. Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
and Brent Maddock. Guess what other movies they did?
Mm-hmm.
Tremors.
Yes.
And guess what their next movie was?
What?
A movie we've done on the podcast.
What?
Can you guess what it is? It's another ghost movie.
Ghost.
No, we've never done Ghost.
Yeah.
What other ghost-related movie have we done?
A lot of them.
Heart and Souls.
Oh.
This movie came out 2 weeks before Ghost,
Yeah.
and at least 5 crew members worked on both movies.
Mm.
It was Bill Cosby's first movie since the critical bomb, Leonard Part 6.
Yeah.
Christine Ebersole is Carol in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a role that Kim Basinger turned down.
Really?
And she also played the role of Janet Cruz in Mac and Me, another role that Kim Basinger turned down. This came out the same year as Almost an Angel and Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And Kimberly Russell, who was in this movie, is one of the few actresses to come to Bill Cosby's defense.
Mm-hmm.
She said he never touched her, never made her feel uncomfortable, and that he always acted professionally on set and would go to a trailer to rehearse scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold Stang was in this movie. He played Mr. Cohen, the elderly patient that was freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in a ton of stuff. He's the voice of Top Cat. And, most importantly, he is Pretzi in Hercules from New York.
Pretzi.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's best friend
Yeah.
in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He has the most over-the-top scenes in this entire movie, where Bill Cosby's skeleton is getting x-rays,
Yeah.
and he comes running out and he goes, whoa, 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 in that scene. There's a lot of Satanism in this movie as well. When Elliot's daughters first see him as a ghost, their hair keeps changing styles in between shots. When Joan goes upstairs to make a phone call, there are no skates on the stairs. In the next shot, Diane falls down the stairs after tripping over the skates. As a ghost, Elliot is only going to be visible in the dark, but when he returns to his workplace as a ghost, everyone can see him. A plot hole. And this is my favorite plot hole. The Janet Jackson song Miss You Much, which was written by Terry Lewis, is accidentally credited to actor Jerry Lewis in the end credits. This movie is wildly uneven. And Bill Cosby is very muggy in this movie. Would you like to hear a review from this movie?
Yeah.
That's much better than my review?
Yes.
I don't care what anyone else has said. This is a great movie. I've seen this movie several times, and Bill Cosby is funny. A single dad trying to raise 3 children and lays an accident becomes a ghost. The adventures that he goes through in this movie while he is a ghost are interesting. It is a great film for children of all ages. So see this movie if you haven't already, and I think you'll be very surprised at the adventures of Cosby and the other characters in this film. 5 stars. I really can't describe this movie. It's something. Guess who did some of the voiceover work for this movie?
Who?
Person that's now a ghost, Jonathan Brandis.
No.
Yes. He's listed as additional voices. So I don't know what he did as an additional voice. But he is listed as that. Wow, they really went in depth on the website. Brian Stokes Mitchell played the teacher, who had great hair. Omar Gooding played Stuart, the Republican kid, tried to sue them.
Yeah.
You know what he ended up being in?
What?
Remember that movie Baby Boy?
Yeah.
He was Sweet Pea.
He was Sweet Pea.
He was Sweet Pea. There he is there, bald. As Sweet Pea. He is he is the brother of Cuba Gooding. Omar Gooding is his name. Dakin Matthews played Mr. Seymour. He is he was in True Grit and Charlie and the Fabulous Baker Boys. He's a character actor. You recognize him from a lot of stuff. Denise Nichols played Joan, the love interest. What do you know her from? She was Harriet Long in The Heat of the Night.
Wasn't she on Fresh Prince too?
I don't know. She was in the movie Blackula. She was on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. She was not in The Fresh Prince. And then Kimberly Russell, who played Diane Hopper, the daughter.
Yeah.
She was in the movie Precious. And then I realized where I know her from.
What?
She was Sarah on the TV show Head of the Class. I was in that show. I played Dennis Blunden. First season. She was also in the O.J. Simpson story. She played Marguerite, whoever that is. But this is her first ever appearance in a movie. She played the daughter of Bill Cosby. What would you give this movie if were you to rate it?
I give it an A.
An A?
A G for ghosts.
This is one of the most painful movies I've ever watched. In the long time of watching movies that we've watched movies together, it is just rough. Henry Mancini did the music for this movie.
Yeah.
Do you know about Henry Mancini?
No.
He is most famous for the Pink Panther theme. You know, the dun-dun, dun-dun, and he is from Beaver County.
Yeah.
Yeah, which if the internet hadn't gone down, I would tell you more about Henry Mancini. But let's just say he did a lot of stuff. Let's just say Henry Mancini did. Oh, well, he also worked on Peter Gunn. He was the composer for Breakfast at Tiffany's, not the song Breakfast at Tiffany's. He did the Pink Panther theme, of course. He was the composer for the TV series Newhart and Hotel, and Remington Steele, and Ripley's Believe It or Not. And he was the conductor and did the orchestration and the score producer for Mummy Dearest, but asked to be uncredited. Yep. But there's a ton of movies that he did the music on. He was born in Cleveland, Ohio, but brought up in Pennsylvania, where he played the flute in a local band. Then he joined Benny Goodman and then Glenn Miller's band. He worked on Abbott and Costello to start. But he's very famous. I guess these kind of movies could come out in the 80s where you're like, it's a PG movie, but it's not really
You can
PG.
get away with shit.
You can get away with a lot. And how about that scene where... So here's the other thing I mean about it being wildly uneven.
Mm-hmm.
He just randomly comes out of the telephone. And he just comes out and chokes him
He does.
out of the telephone. What's the kid's name that was...
Who's Bobby?
Let me look him up. He's Bobby on Twin Peaks.
Let me see him there.
Yeah, I don't see his picture. Maybe he'd asked to be... He asked for all prints of Ghost Dad to be stricken. Dana Ashbrook is his name.
Yeah.
He is Bobby Briggs,
Mm-hmm.
former boyfriend of Laura Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
He was in beyond this movie. Can you name some of his other movies? Besides Fire Walk with Me.
Waxwork.
He was in Waxwork, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What else was he in?
I don't know.
Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Do you think people out there should watch Ghost Dad?
Yes.
Do you think they should look for it on DVD? They should hunt it down?
Yes.
They think it's the best movie ever made?
Wonderful.
Yeah?
Yes.
Would you... It's an Oscar-worthy movie for Bill Cosby?
Yes.
Bill Cosby, did he make any movies after this?
No.
Well, we'll see. I'm looking him up on IMDb. I think... Will I get added to a register for looking Bill Cosby up on IMDb?
Probably.
They're like, sir,
Be in trouble.
sir, please. You looked up Bill Cosby on IMDb, and we can't have that.
Mm-hmm.
It's loading him slow. There's a lot of info. He was in 44 movies.
Mm-hmm.
A Very Cosby Thanksgiving was the last thing he did in the Cosby TV series, which ended in 2000, as well as the Little Bill series.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cosby Mysteries. Did you watch the Cosby Mysteries?
No.
He was in Meteor Man after this in 1993.
Yeah, he played the homeless guy.
He played Marvin in Meteor Man. He's also in Leonard Part 6.
Mm-hmm.
He is in The Devil and Max Devlin. I remember when that movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
California Suite. A Piece of the Action, which he also did with Sidney Poitier. As well as Uptown Saturday Night, which he also did with him.
Mm-hmm.
He played the Wizard of Oz in Journey Back to Oz, a 1972 TV movie. And he had the other Bill Cosby show from 69 to 71, as well as Fat Albert, and I Spy, which he did with Robert Culp, which is Robert Culp, who was on The Greatest American Hero. I'm wondering what the trivia for Bill Cosby is on IMDb. Do people go crazy? National Enquirer offered $100,000 for the capture of his son Ennis Cosby, who was killed.
Was he killed?
Yep. Yes. He was killed, shot to death, while fixing a flat tire off the San Diego freeway in 1997. Yes. His wife, Camille Cosby, is a direct descendant of Nancy Hanks, Abraham Lincoln's mother. How about that?
Yeah.
His son is actually buried on his family estate in Massachusetts. Yeah. Do you think he found out his dad's secret? Comedian. His wife is also related to Tom Hanks through that Nancy Hanks. He is a vegetarian. All of his children's names start with the letter E for excellence. He's a running back at Temple University. He's been in 2 movies where his characters were mistaken for Satan, The Devil and Max Devlin and Ghost Dad. The Navy revoked his title as Honorary Chief Petty Officer because he is not in the Navy's values. University of Wisconsin and Fordham University also took away his honorary degrees. He is admitted to giving quaaludes to women, but supposedly nobody on the set of Ghost Dad. Everybody was safe on Ghost Dad. Interesting, he was paid $1 million an episode for the Cosby Show.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy.
And he only has $400 million left.
He's had to pay some people out over the years, baby.
Yeah.
He had to pay back. If you got a copy of Ghost Dad, he would pay you $300 for having to watch it.
No.
Yes, he'd be like, I'm sorry that I gave you this movie. That's my bad Bill Cosby impersonation. It's not good at all.
No.
But, you know, it is what it is. He's a really bad dad in this movie. And at one point, the darkest part of this movie, of many dark parts, is after his daughter falls down the steps on a roller skate. Foreshadowed throughout the movie that a roller skate was going to kill somebody. His daughter says, I don't want to go back to being alive. Being alive sucked. I'd rather be a ghost and just fly around like this. And I was like, yes, exactly. Like, not that my life sucks, but your life is horrible. All you do is make TV dinners. He complains about how you make SpaghettiOs, and he treats you like crap. It's a really weird relationship they have. Also, it's very weird because it's almost like they're more husband and wife than father and daughter a couple times in the movie.
You know, it's creepy.
It's kind of creepy, isn't it? I don't know. And then, like, I thought, here's how I would have wrote the ending of this movie. Spoiler warnings for my ending. When the daughter was looking at the picture of her mom, she was like, boy, I wish my mom would come back. Then whenever he came back, the mother would somehow come back too. And the whole family would be together. Or he would fulfill his mission, get his kids in a better place, and then go to heaven where he would see his wife. And they would walk hand in hand. That's a little bit darker. You know?
Yeah.
But instead it was like, you know what? Your mom's gone. She ain't never coming back.
Nope.
And I hope you enjoy doing your magic tricks. How about when that kid was doing his magic trick and he was stuck in the box of doom? And he started crying, all the other kids were making fun of him. That was harrowing. That was pretty much my high school experience. That's why I never did magic in front of anybody. So I'm like, this is the one time my trick isn't going to work. I did one of my magic tricks for Jeff once.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the Kreskin ones. The one where I can force you to say the number that I want you to say.
Do it to me.
I can't do it right now. I'm practicing one. I can do the one where I can make your eyes stay closed. That one, and I can do the one where I can make you walk the direction I want you to walk, and your legs get real weak. I know that one because it's all muscle tricks. Like he talks about it in one of his, not tricks. I don't want to. God forbid Kreskin listens to this. I don't want to insult him. He does. They're not even really illusions. They're like ways of playing with muscle memory. But he's talked about there's a way to lead people to say the thing that you want them to say.
Yeah.
And it's because then it's deductive reasoning. And like he's talked about it in his. I have 20 Kreskin books. I could go on, but you know, it's a geeky podcast about Bill Cosby shows. I mean, how much geekier can it get? To sit here and talk about magicians from the 70s. But you know, I think this is definitely better than Leonard Part 6.
Yeah.
But the bar was really low for that. Have you ever seen Leonard Part 6?
No.
So it's the 6th part of a series. And it's all about like a secret agent like James Bond named Leonard. And he comes out of retirement to beat his greatest foe. And it's like, whereas Bucker Banzai's charming, because you're coming in halfway through the movie, this one you're not. It's not charming at all. He has rocket skates and he has like an aluminum foil costume. That's what little I remember from Leonard Part 6. It was on HBO a lot, and it was on really quick. Like I don't think it went to VHS. It was like, hey, brand new on HBO, and like, wow, like, and I was like, no, even though it's on, even though there's nothing else on, and nothing else on TV, and only a few channels, I'm cool. I'm not going to watch Leonard Part 6. Not when the car's on. I think a lot of fans have been asking us to watch a few movies. I'm going to read some emails from these fans.
Oh, well.
Okay? Doe138@gmail.com wrote that we should watch The Car. He said the car is great.
Yeah.
He said, I'd like you guys to watch Amityville 2 again. I heard that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you should watch Action Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good, and Vanity's in it. And it's kind of like a blaxploitation movie, but a little bit modernized for the 80s, and it's good. You should watch Airport 79, The Concorde, because George Kennedy and Sylvia Christel are in it, and that's pretty sweet. And you should watch Andy Warhol's Dracula. So thanks, No138. If there's a movie you'd like to see, why don't you reach out to us at bandaboutmovies@gmail.com, or you can visit our website. What's the address for our website, baby?
I never know.
What would you say that it would be if you could give?
BandAboutMovies.com.
Yes, exactly. That's
That it?
that's exactly the
There you go.
website. If you want to listen, if you found our podcast through iTunes, you can go to our podcast site, which is bnsaboutmovies.podomatic.com. But you keep listening to it through iTunes, that's fine. But if you come to bnsaboutmovies.com, every day there's a new movie. And mostly the movies on the site are movies that Becca will not sit and watch with me. There's been a George Romero week. There's going to be a TV movie horror week. There's going to be, right now, in the middle of this week, it is almost all post-apocalyptic movies, but there's no real theme. But like Eliminators, Manborg, some real quality movies that I review when Becca doesn't watch them. If Becca picks a movie, you're going to watch Ghost Dad, or what was the other one we watched tonight? Oh, Due Date.
Mm-hmm.
But that was good.
Yeah.
And or you're going to watch 5 Twilight movies in 6 days. That's what you watch. And she gets excited and will shake the box in your face and say, look what we're watching. And it's Aaron Brockovich.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to watch. Well, thanks for listening. We appreciate you coming to find our podcast and enjoying it. If you have a suggestion again for a movie, a comment, you can comment on my Facebook. It's usually where these are posted. Or you can comment on the website where these are posted. Or you can send an email to bnsaboutmovies@gmail.com. Send us a request. If you want to be on the show, you can be on the show, but you're not allowed to watch The Car, because we're never going to watch that movie. That's going to be, we'll just keep bringing it up. You can come over and you can pick any movie as long as Becca likes it. Anyways.